the song with your heart. Play the song with your heart.
What is good, YouTube? This your boy Aaron,
It's Brian.
and this is the Courtside View Podcast, and we are back today, and we got a lot to discuss. We're back on Monday, and a lot of Olympic basketball has been played. You got Summer League, you have boxing, that's a big thing, and then also a big announcement as well in another sport. But let's start off with basketball. Let's start off with the NBA because something surprised me this past week, and that was the news involving Jalen Brunson's contract extension. This hit the NBA social media by storm because it's reported that Jalen Brunson took an $111 million discount. Man. For a guy that's 6'2", that's not very athletic, he relies solely on like his skill and his ability to create space for himself. It's very shocking what has transpired, especially in the new CBA, especially since he plays for the New York Knicks. We talked about the New York Knicks the past 2 weeks for the simple fact that one, I believed that the Knicks were under the most pressure because of the situation involving Jalen Brunson's contract extension. Well, with this new event, I must say that goes out the window. And that's because Jalen Brunson just created a bigger window for the New York Knicks by taking this contract extension, because that's a lot of money that he's giving up to win a championship. Let me read you the contract details real quick. So, if you don't know, he signed a 4-year contract extension. He still has 2 more years left on his deal before the contract kicks in. Wow. So it was 4 years, $156.5 million. In 2024, 4 years, $156.5 million. That is a massive discount. Now, it is also reported that when this contract ends, he will enter like 10th year territory so he can sign a massive deal. But with Jalen Brunson's play style, with the way that he plays and the fact that he's not very athletic, he's taking a major risk signing this deal because we don't know if he'll still be this good once the contract is over. Brian, what is your reaction to Jalen Brunson signing this contract?
Well, first, I want to start this off by saying I'm not a fan of letting owners off the hook and listen, a $113 million pay cut is unheard of. I don't think we've ever seen something like this from a player when it comes to getting his money. Usually they say, we're going to take everything from you, and if you can't build a roster with it, then hey, it is what it is. But this is just unprecedented. And listen, 100 mil, whatever he got, still a lot of money. Like, let's not get it twisted. It's a lot of money. But when the owners put you out there and you're playing, Tom Thibodeau was playing you about 40-something minutes a night, I need all my money. I'm sorry. If I'm Jalen Brunson, I need all of it. And OG Anunoby, who was hurt, he said, give me my money. He got his money. But you, the star player on the team, feel like you had to take a pick? I don't know about that. But hey, if listen, if this produces a championship and that's what he wants to do, I can't blame him. I can't even be mad at it. It is what it is. So the way I see it, it's a good move for the Knicks as an org. The owners are rubbing their hands together like Birdman. But as far as like the players, probably not too happy about that occurring because now they're like, oh, great, now people gonna be like, oh, Jalen Brunson took money and you ain't double-edged sword. But if it produces a championship at the end of the day, I can't be mad at it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It all comes down to the ring. You don't take a massive pay cut like this unless you know for certain that your team can compete for a championship. And they all, they make fun of him. Oh, he wants to play with his friends. And that's true. That is, hey, I get it. You got Mikhail, you got Josh, you got Dante. You want to play with your guys, y'all cool and everything. You want to keep the crew together. But man, that is a lot of money that you're giving up when it's not guaranteed who you'll be down the road. I'll say this though, there's no question that you can deny that Jalen Brunson wants to win a championship. Like he wants to do everything he can to win, and because he took this massive discount, I'm more confident than ever that the New York Knicks will one day win a championship.
Mm.
Is it this year? I don't know. But what I will say is that they have the flexibility to surround Jalen Brunson and potentially Julius Randle a really, really good team. And right now
Yes.
they have a hell of a team. I was looking at the 76ers roster and their depth chart, and I'm like, ugh, brother, ugh. Like, you just look down the list, they got Caleb Martin as the power forward. Like, brother, ugh. Like, come on now. Like, that's not a serious roster with Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and then you have Kelly Oubre starting. Like, that's not a serious roster. The New York Knicks have a serious contending roster, and people need to wake up. Some Knicks fans need to wake up. Stephen A. Smith, y'all got to wake up.
What's
I
what's
get it.
Stephen A. Smith do?
He was like, the 76ers are better than the Knicks. Like,
At what?
they're a better basketball team.
Oh, he's delusional.
He is delusional. And so New York Knicks that are doubting this Knicks team, they need to wake up. I get it. You've been in purgatory, you've been in dysfunction for over 20 years. The last great year was with Carmelo, and you guys made it to six games in the second round. You were the number 2 seed. We're far past that era. Now you all can get excited for what's to come because you have built a team that could rival the Celtics. Can you beat the Celtics? That's a question we need answers when the season arrives. But right now, this roster and the way that it's presented with OG, with Mikal Bridges, with Julius Randle, with Mitchell Robinson, with Jalen Brunson, with Dante DiVincenzo, with Josh Hart, with McBride, that's a hell of a squad. And with Tom Thibodeau leading the way, he's a guy that demands excellence, demands that you play defense. I was watching a clip of Joakim Noah talking about how insane Tom Thibodeau is as a coach. He was talking about how like they were up 20 and the game was pretty much over. And the team, they score 5 points at the end of the game and they make it 15 instead of 20. And they go into the locker room and this man Tom Thibodeau was yelling at him because he allowed a team to cut the lead to 15 instead of having it at 20. So that's the coach that they have. And then he also talked about how Kyle Korver was in his car before practice and he could just tell that he was just like, damn, like this coach is just crazy because he has them running defensive slides and sprints after, the next day after a game. So like stuff like that. Like this is the coach that we're talking about here. I like this Knicks team. They're tough minded. They have that it's just something different about this Knicks teams compared to previous years. They just have that mental toughness that you need in order to win a championship. And they should be, in terms of odds for like winning a championship, they should be in like the top 3 this year. No question. That's how good they are.
You know who the Knicks remind me of?
Who?
Even though they're on a much larger scale, they remind me of how the Lions are in the NFL now. It was a joke.
Okay.
They was a joke for some time. Well, they had Melo. The Knicks did have Melo, and he gave him some bit of playoff hope. But after that, they really wasn't much expectation. They were pretty bad. Had multiple lottery picks years after year. Really wasn't drafting. And then all of a sudden, a new coach comes in. They get a couple additions. Players are starting to make jumps, and boom, now they're looking at as serious contenders in their conference. So it just goes to show you, and like you said, they have that. The Lions preach that grit, the grit thing. The Knicks are physically tough team, even though they've been injured. But you play 40 minutes for 82 games of the season. Let's see how your body holds up April and May and all that. So yeah, that's really how I think about the Knicks. I'm seeing like the parallels between them. We have a lot, and the fan base is really charged up, energized right now. Still haven't quite got over the hump. I was comparing the Celtics to the 49ers because I said they would be so good, but they finally got it done. Hopefully the Niners don't do the same. But that's a different discussion for another. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to see how the Knicks move forward with all of this.
Yeah, because they have depth. Like they have 8 guys that they can go to. So Tom Thibodeau wants to play all these damn minutes. Well, you don't have to do that no more because you have 8 guys that you can go to. So this is very rare for Tom Thibodeau to have a team where 8 dudes can be played on the floor. So, all right, let's
just let me be me.